Hello guys, si San Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 21 ng Larutan ng Super Robot Wars V Voyage. So, tuloy natin yung game natin. Okay. Last episode guys, nagawa natin yung pangalawang bonus scenario na na-unlock natin matapos natin yung chapter 12. So, yan, kompleto na. Sunod ito, chapter 20 na. So, punta na tayo sa susunod na scenario 13. Okay, saan tayo? Pacific Ocean. Alternate Earth. Ptolemaeus to custom briefing room. Pero from now on, tatawagin ko na lang yung Ptolemy kasi yun naman talaga tawag doon sa game eh. Hello Captain, I'm glad we finally have the pleasure of meeting one another at last. The pleasure is all mine. I just wish we could have met under better circumstances, if at all possible, to be honest. But these are desperate times. I suppose enough for us to be in touch with the Earth Federation forces, at least. My thoughts exactly, which is why I think we should get to work figuring out how exactly we're going to get the situation under control, if that's all right. Yeah, sounds good to me. I'd say we're pretty much on the same page. But before that, there's one thing I want to say. What is it? I just find it pretty amazing that, such a young operator from the Lizard War is actually sitting in the captain's chair on the Nadeshiko now. Well, if things were different, normally, someone a little more qualified would be running the ship. You mean Yurika Mizumaru? Perhaps. Anyway, getting back to business. I read your report on the Martian successors abducting Class A jumpers. Right. Within this ship's crew, we believe Eureka, Ariko, and Inez are among those who have been kidnapped. We've finally been keeping an eye on the likely culprits for quite some time, although there's still a lot about them we haven't quite found out yet. Chief among them is where they get this financing, and just how extensive their support network is. We haven't turned up any good leads, no matter where we look. Maito didn't know what to make of those connections either. He wasn't sure why a group of criminals with no past ties would suddenly start to work together. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. It looks like his plan's starting to move forward too. Is that to say you know about the Brave Express Corps? Somewhat. We've done some snooping around into them too. Although it mostly meant just keeping an eye on them since they weren't really doing anything wrong. Andali lang guys. Okay, edit ako ulit. Best to let sleeping dogs lie and let them get their work on as some of the good guys, I figure. I can agree with that. But yeah, we're still at square one when it comes to figuring out what's up with the Martian successors. Something's definitely going on though. I can feel it. Me too. Somebody or something out there is trying to drag us into another big long war. To what end? Who knows? Great minds think alike. I think our only choice for now is try to get to the bottom of whatever's going on as we try to take out the Martian successors. If I can change the subject for a minute, I get the impression Celestial Being has something of a keen interest in the Jovian Federation. Well, you could say we're related to them in a way. What do you mean exactly? I guess now's as good a time to talk about it as any. Basically, the founder of Celestial Being, Aeolia Schoenberg, he worked with the Jovian Federation when he was still alive. Essentially, he helped them deal with immigrants who tried to run away from Mars and head off for Jupiter. This is the first time I've ever heard any of this. Aeolia developed the GN drive on Jupiter, which is how I figured he and the Jovians first met. In fact, I suspect the technology he developed relies on the ancient remnants that the Jovian Federation found in the Jupiter sphere. Is that to say that celestial being feels some amount of responsibility for the Jovians attacking Earth? We don't have a full enough picture to really say. We actually don't even entirely know what Aeolia's ideas are or even his overall plan, but at the very least, we agree with him about ending war for good. Knowing that even if he worked with the Jovians at the end of the day, if they're trying to start a war, then it's our job to put a stop to it. Let me ask you one more question. Are you all fighting in some attempt to try and atone for what you all have done in the past? Yes and no. It's hard to put into words. It's probably fair to say that some of us are trying to make amends for the sins of our past. I know I'm one of them, at the very least. But more importantly, the biggest reason we fight is so the world can one day know true peace in its future. That much hasn't changed since we first started to intervene in global conflicts. Thank you for explaining. That's all I wanted to know. You all seem to be a very steadfast group of people. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. It means a lot to hear that coming from you after fighting together earlier. Andali lang guys. Okay. Noriega, we've got a big problem. What is it? Millennia? Word got out about Princess Angelis from the Misurugi Empire actually being a normal. What? Are you serious? Reporter. Her Highness Princess Angelis Ikaruga underwent the rite of baptism as first princess of the Misurugi Empire. It was there that her identity as a normal was revealed. Experts believe that it was her father, Emperor Jurai Asuka Misurugi, who kept that information suppressed up until her 16th birthday today. Initially, the princess intended to flee but failed and has since been arrested by authorities. Her mother, Empress Sophia Ikaruga Misurugi, who had assisted her, is said to have since gone into hiding. Oh, we seem to be getting some breaking news. We have an announcement directly from the Imperial Throne. Effectively immediately, Julio Asuka Misurugi is now the official head of the Misurugi Empire. Furthermore, former Emperor Jurai Asuka Misurugi has been deemed a traitor to the Empire for attempting to install a normal to the Imperial throne. His title has been stripped and he is now in custody. As for the princess, her title and nationality have also been revoked, and she is said to have been subsequently banished from the Empire for her crimes. That's all I have to report for now from the Empire. Ptolemaeus II, Custom Hangar. Another day, another big scandal. What else is new? I don't know. Angelis was a real popular figure with the general public in the Misurugi Empire. I doubt her being a normal will go down well there. I have a question. Yeah, me too. Shoot, what is it? This would probably sound stupid to you guys, but what exactly is a norma? What? Are you guys kidding me? I mean, the way you guys are talking. I get that they're supposed to be bad, but that's about it. Man, I can't believe I'm hearing this. Don't they teach you kids anything in school these days? Eh, taga-ibang dimension nga sila, ano ba kayo? Oh, don't be too hard on them. Saburota, they only just came to our dimension really recently, you know. And CRV especially has been stuck in Japan the whole time. Cut them both some slack. That must mean you don't know about Mana either, huh? Nope. What's a mana? Mana is a special power that lets you do things like transmit information and generate matter at will. Magic users, ganon? Just think of it as magic. Ayan, explain nga. That's the basic idea. Magic? Really? I didn't know magic was actually something real. Yes, but only people from the founding nation can use it. The founding nations? I don't think I've heard of them either, sorry. The founding nations are an alliance that's made up of some of the oldest, longest lasting nations in this world. Even with the Earth Federation around nowadays, they still have a lot of influence over things. Yeah, the founding nations are so powerful that even the Atlantic Federation takes orders from them. Anyway, it's people who live in the founding nations that can actually use mana. Okay. Additional information nga. Mana, highly advanced informational technology that allows everything to be controlled solely by thought. It allows willpower alone to interfere with physical phenomena, emit energy, control movement, and allow access to shared data via an integrated system. Its use has resulted in a deeper ability for people to sympathize with one another, eliminating poverty and inequality, creating a peaceful utopian world. Talaga lang ha? Kung utopian world, bakit may gera dito sa mundo siya? Or to put it another way, everyone who can use mana belongs to the founding nations. If you're not the lucky ones in this world, too bad. But not everyone who's a citizen of those countries can use mana either. That's what normas are. People born within the founding nations who can't use it. Yeah, information nga ulit. Norma, humans with a mutation that prevents them from using mana, unable to make use of mana, the foundation of modern society. The Norma are cast out as outsiders and treated with much aggression and hatred. This mutation only occurs in women though. The reason why is unknown. Once it is discovered that someone is a Norma, the quarantine officer casts them out into isolation on Arsenal. So kumbaga ba sa Harry Potter wizarding world, mga muggles. Okay ah. So they're basically outcasts is what you're saying. It's a little more complicated than that. You're not from around here, so you might not realize it, but Normas aren't treated like normal people. Normas don't have any human rights. Saklap naman nun. Mas malala pa pala kaysa sa mga muggles. Hell, people see them as monsters that don't have any right to live. They're despised within those countries, societies. But that's crazy, isn't it? It's not like those people did anything wrong. You're not the only one who thinks that. I feel the same way too. In fact, lots of people have thought that for a really long time. But that's how life is in those countries. On top of that, normal people who can use mana just fine don't seem to mind the status quo all that much. And that means the Federation's hands are tied, sadly. That's insane. How could anyone allow that? You're right, it is insane. On the flip side, it does make for bad PR. Not many people travel to or from the founding nations countries. Although really, from what I gather, it's more like they just don't like outsiders mocking things up. So mga xenophile sila. Mga xenophobe. They think they're special and better than everyone else just because they can use a little fancy magic. Which is why everybody else outside the founding nations prefers to keep their distance as long as trouble doesn't come knocking on their doors, on their doorstep. Ba, nabubulol pa rin ako. Okay, I think I more or less get it now. I guess that's why I didn't pick up on any of it sooner in the local news or anything. Yeah, but regardless, it's pretty wild that a princess from there turned out to be a Norma herself. That reporter mentioned she was banished, right? What do you think is going to happen to her? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, kid. I'd say at the very least, it probably doesn't mean she's going to be outright killed for being a Norma. Sobra naman yun. Of course not. Nobody outside the founding nations can use mana anyway. So to everyone else, she's just normal. I'm sure she'll blend in just fine. Yeah, she'll probably just find another country somewhere to settle in and go on with her life. It's time to deploy, everyone. Did you guys figure out our next plan of attack? Yeah, we're heading to Area D in the Pacific Ocean. Okay sa lugar, Area D. So parang to, medyo familiar ako dito. Papasok na tayo sa mundo na ng mga hindi ko lang alam kung nandito siya, pero parang parang papasok tayo sa mundo ng Code Geass. Really? You guys sure that's such a good idea? What's the point of even going up there? Sorry, what's Area D? I know about that. I don't know about that either. Hamada mentioned it earlier. It's an area that's cut off from normal airplane flight paths and satellite trajectories. Whoa, is it where that rumored Whoa, is it where that rumored continent is then? It's not that special. Machines just can't work properly because of the strong magnetic fields around there. So people gave up on developing it. Way to burst my bubble. Can't a guy dream a bit? You still haven't told us what we're doing there. There are a few ways into the area, making it possible for people to amass at such places and establish strongholds. I bet the Martian successors would try to pull that. Indeed, put simply, we have reason to believe that the enemy has set up a base within the perimeter of the area. The original plan was to just meet up with our allies in Orb, but since it's on the way, we decided that we might as well look into Area D as well. Nabubulol na nga ako, tapos medyo pa yung translation. So anyway, Orb. Officially the United Emirates of Orb. This is a small nation of numerous islands located in the Pacific Ocean. It is a rare example of a country where naturals and coordinators coexist in harmony, and which has sworn itself to neutrality, participating in neither the Federation nor ZAFT. It is also home to the semi-nationalized company Muggles Inc. The former leader of this company, Uzumi Naoya Atha, tasked his daughter Kagali with realizing the ambitions he had for his company. But the five noble families who ruled the country had conflicting opinions about his plans, causing confusion and disagreement. Among these families, Unato Emma Seiran, the Prime Minister of Orb and head of the Seiran family, was particularly ambitious and tried to maneuver so that his son, Yuna Roma Seiran, would marry Kagalgi, thinking that this would allow him to rule the country as he pleased. In addition to Logos, he abandoned the neutral principles of Orb to form an alliance with United Earth Federation. However, battles between Kagali and Archangel, the tyrant of the Seiran family, ended, and Orb returned to its original stance of neutrality. Okay. Hindi tayo familiar dyan, so sige natin. Mind, that's not our only reason for doing this. Sumeragi seems like she's finally ready to break some of the taboos of this world. I just hope she understands what she's getting us all into. Scenario 13, The Forbidden Sea. expelled. Can you hear me? I want a status update. How much further is it until we reach Area D? The current estimate is 32 minutes. The magnetic fields are a little unstable, but overall the ocean here are pretty calm. Some quirks here and there don't really hurt anybody. If anything, it helps the Earth conserve Mother Nature. Wouldn't you agree, Sumeragi? What's wrong? Everyone, just so we're clear, no matter what happens, I need you all to stay calm and focused, understand? Hey, we're not kids, we can handle ourselves fine. I know you all can. I wasn't going to say anything at first, but something just feels off about this. Biglang may encounter yata Ano ba yan? We've got an unidentified squad heading our way. The magnetic field must have thrown off my readings. Is it the Martian successors? What the? They're in mobile suits. Are they with the Earth Federation forces? I don't know. They're not transmitting any sort of ID. They're not responding to any of our signals either. Well, did nobody send them the memo that the Nadeshiko is a Federation ship too? I think it's safe to say these guys aren't military. All units prepare to engage. Okay, so anong objective natin? Nakatago pa yung SR points. So, sorry, select. Ilan ang kailangan? Lahat ba pwede? Okay. Of course, kailangan ko yung main character ko. Tapos yung mga Gundam. Lahat yata pwede. Kasi mga Gundam tapos yung mga lang. Huwag na itong mga Ace Valis. Okay. Hey, stop it already. If you're mad because we're trespassing or something, we'll be out of here soon enough. I promise. I don't think they can hear us at all, Ryoko. I'm pretty sure those units are piloted by AIs. You mean they're unmanned? I'm starting to get the impression they might have been deployed to try to keep us out of Area D. But if it's not the Federation forces calling the shots, then who's sending these things after us? We can figure that out later. Right now, we need to focus on how we're going to break through. All units, be extremely careful. We don't know what the enemy might be planning to do here. Something's definitely up with this place. If this is who they're already sending to greet us, I'd say. Okay, so andun yung SR point. So for the meantime, kailangan mo natin mag-survive. So, spend that. Okay. Dito lang sila. So, gamitin ko yung deployment technique. Wala kang axle eh. Ikaw. Ano na lang tayo, manual na lang, sige. Buti na lang nakalipad lahat, maliban lang kay Mike Gain. Pagtanggol natin yung ship. Offensive muna. Pero huwag na yan, masyadong magastos yan. Ito na. 6, 7. Support. Okay, sige. Decent Man's squad isn't working for the Earth Federation forces, and it's not with the Martian successors. Who are they fighting for? Could they be guards trying to keep us intruders out? If that's the case, we definitely need to take a look.
Teki 無人機の行動パターンはすでに把握しています。
友軍艦に続いて攻撃を。
GN キャノンの射程内です。ラッセ。
おう、派手にぶちかましてやるぜ。
Iba, wala na tira. Nakatira. Okay, no choice. If this squad is here to stop us from finding out Area D secrets, they could well be working for them.
私の予測が間違っていなければ。
敵機近づいてきてるです。
トレミ砲撃開始。
了解だ。砲撃開始。
こういうチャンスは有効に使う。こいつでぶち抜いてやる。
Dead.
ターゲット確認。
当たれ
Wala talaga matitira.
これ惚れする威力だぜ。
Alright, game. Let's get started. No need to go easy on them. They're just mindless AI, unlike you. You got it, Maito. We'll win this fight. I'll show them what my super AI is truly capable of.
本当なら AI にだって正義の心は宿るのに。ガイ、動輪剣で一気に片付けるぞ。
了解。砲輪剣。食らえ。せい。
Hindi pa full clip, sayang.
Ore ga chou AI である。
私の力だ。
Third right is flat. Gentle.
これまでだ。そんなもの。させるか。
Pa full crit yun sa lagay na yun.
ミッションを継続する。捕らえたぜ。
Pati yung Haro may, may skills. Blue Haro. Paginitan natin tong ano. Paginitan natin yung kulay green. Oh, ano na yun, overkill naman yan pag ganyan. Sayang, tsaka baka may mas mahirap eh. These AI guys look way too boring and soulless for my taste. You're way better, 9. You're 100 times cuter. Really 100 times cuter? No, I mean 1,000 times cuter. Heck, why stop there? You're 10,000 times cuter. Is that any better? Zero cuteness multiplied by any number is still zero. However, since you deem me cute, I'll let it slide. All you humans often say.
Go! いい位置だ。
Di pa full grip tayo.
One pattern なんだよ。
Next, si crossbow na lang. Sige, sa'yo na yun. Masyado magastos siya. Ano lang. Boy, papasaway. Wala na tayo unit na pwedeng gumalaw. Enter. Nice, pinag-initan tayo. So 6, 7. Ito lang ang pwede gamitin eh. Sige, no choice. Sana mag full crit.
Konna tokoro de shinu ki wa nai ze. Tada no AI に負けるかよ。ミサイルは任せるぞ。ない。喉元に食らいつく。出し惜しみはなしだ。とどめだ。いわゆる必殺技ってやつだ。
Lang natira. Kahit yan lang. Fire.
黙って沈められるわけにはいかない。 GN ミサイル一斉発射。
くらえ。
Ouch. Dami pala nila. Ito na lang, bullets na lang.
Ide no saってやつだろ。そらそら。行くぜ。
Is kalahati. Wag naman yan, sobrang ano eh. Overkill naman eh. Kasi ito na lang.
One pattern なんだよ。ここはいただくぜ。
Magastos. Ito lang.
ナイスだハロー。ノルマは果たすぜ。いっけー。
Masyado magastos siya. Ito lang.
やったー。そんなに気合い入れなくても大丈夫ですよ。敵 AI は単純な思考様式で行動します。
Wait lang.
当たらないに越したことはねえ。ほらほら当たれ。
Shield ka pa. Wala rin effect yun. What the? Harry, what's going on? The magnetism, it's suddenly getting a lot stronger. Our radar and sensors are both offline. Well, that's a first. Something's coming. A gate? Wait, something's coming out of it. Are those what I think they are? What are those things? Based on their shape, they would appear to be dragons. You know what dragons are, Nine? Yes, my memory banks contain a wide array of data on things that you refer to as myths and legends. Man, you come prepared for everything, don't you? The unmanned enemy squadron has been eliminated. That's great and all, but they're coming for us now. Those things are crazy. They're just going hog wild. Hey Maito, do you normally see these sort of things here in this world? Nope, I've never seen or heard of anything like this. Man, nope, I've never seen or heard anything like them. They must have used that gate over there to cross over into this area. My instruments still detect instability in this space. Oh great, what's next? What is that? A ship? No, a submarine. I think there's something else out there too. Yeah, it's a Gundam. Tessa ang pangalan. What's the situation? I need a status report now. Captain, the Tuatha De Danann has made a rapid ascent back to the surface as an emergency response. Our current position remains unknown. But more importantly, wow, look at that sea. Yeah, it's so blue, isn't it? Hathaway, are you alright? Yeah, I think so. But where are we? I've detected an unidentified vessel. Ano ba yan? Nabubula na naman. I've detected an unidentified vessel, and also, are those dragons? Ano ba yan? Whatever they are, they're definitely going after us. An unidentified squadron also appears to be trying to confirm our affiliation. They look like they're willing to talk at least. Open our channels and establish communications. Aye, Captain. This is Commander Teletha Testas. Ano ba yan? Anong pangalan yan? Teka, timer. Matik na maging, testosterone Teletha Testarossa, captain of the assault landing submarine Tuatha de Danann. I'm with the Mithril West Pacific Fleet. Please explain the current situation here. That's a little easier said than done, to be honest. Judging from what she's saying, she doesn't seem to really know what's going on here either. Not even anything about those dragons. Greetings, Captain. I'm Major Ruri Hoshino, Captain of the Nadeshiko B. As it stands, those creatures are attacking anything and everything they can get their claws on. I believe our first order of business is to make our way out of here, and I ask that you help us with that. That doesn't really explain much. Why should we? Probably because she doesn't have time to talk. Copy that, Captain. We'll assume a defensive position and commence fighting those creatures. Thank you, Captain. I appreciate your cooperation. Do you know something you're not telling me, Captain? Well, we'll talk about it later. Right now, let's just worry about those dragons. Fair enough. Alright, let's bring in the submarine closer to land and deploy the special response team. Aye, Captain. Man, pinch me. I've got to be dreaming. The ocean here is so blue. Maybe that magnetic storm we ran into did a bigger number on us than we thought and blew us up to heaven. I'm pretty sure dragons don't belong up in heaven, but we could have ended up in a parallel dimension or something. What do you make of this situation, Sergeant? Honestly, I don't have a clue. The only thing I know for sure is those flying lizards up there doesn't think too highly of us. Then that only leaves us with only one choice. Indeed, wherever we are, if enemies come knocking, it's our job to answer the door with a bang. Think you can fight Hathaway? I don't know. But at the same time, I know I've got to do something, or else we're all screwed here. That kid is seriously unlucky. He just thinks he's coming in to test something, and then boom, he gets wrapped up in this mess. I don't envy him. You got to give him credit. I got to give him credit though. He's got guts. Must be because he's been around the war for so long. I guess that makes him and me pretty similar, huh? Well, I won't put you two together. I know he doesn't have the thickest skin around here. That doesn't change the fact that you have to be strong to come out of battle alive. You understand that, don't you, Hathaway? Yes, of course I do. I don't plan on dying here. That's what I like to hear. Alright, AI, let's do this. We shouldn't leave Kanami behind back on the Danann for too long. Yes, sir. Looks like the others are getting ready to fight. Yeah, and they've got what looks like a Gundam and some sort of smaller ground unit with them. They better be able to pull their own weight here. We're not going to be able to talk down all those creatures. We'll just have to fight them all. Setsuna, I know what you're thinking, but all we can do right now is try to defend ourselves. I know. All units, commence your attack. However, be aware that the enemy's strength remains unknown. Use extreme caution when engaging. Well, we better get going. I suppose open fire? Our only objective right now is to stay alive. Okay. Lumabas na rin yung SR point. Defeat Galleon class and Schooner class dragons within 3 turns after they appear, or in other words, within a total of 5 turns. So medyo pahirap to So save muna natin dahil nga nag-timer na tayo So save muna. Ito ba? Next episode na lang natin tutuloy, guys. So end na natin. So ito na naman yung Tessa.
あんたひっどい顔してるよ。 プレイヤーと一緒に休んだらどう？
Ano ba soundtrack yan? Parang the A-Team naman. Parang the A-Team naman yung soundtrack nila. Ano ba yan?
そういうわけにはいきません。みんなの命を預かる身として常に最良の作戦を。メリッサ、どこ触ってるんですか？痛いです。
そうそう、その顔。眉間にシワ寄せてたってちっとも可愛くないんだから。
普通に休めって言えばいいのに。わかりました。ちゃんと休みます。
素直でよろしい。じゃ、プレイヤーの人もまたね。
Okay guys, Cash and Velasa signing off. Next episode na lang ulit.